I borrowed a laptop of my friend. It had no keyboard working on, so I went to a old electronic shop, got myself a keyboard attached to that, and I was like 15 hours straight on the charts for every day because I desperately wanted to get out of that situation.
Today's guest is Kunal, a full-time trader and mentor. From gambling on lottery tickets to managing over $1 million in investor capital, this is his raw and relentless journey.
There is no trader in the industry with a 100% win rate, because in trading, first you become a good analyst, and then you get the faith and the trust in your analysis, and then you get the balls to execute the trade. I was calling out so many good moves and not able to capitalize.
He hit rock bottom, no money, no direction, but built himself back through obsession, discipline, and a vision no one else could see.
The reason most people suck in trading psyche is because they are all over the place. The trades will always come. Trades are like trains. If one train goes by, no one actually runs behind the trade, right? That's how trading is. People think one trade is done, and if they've missed that setup, they try to replace that. But every trade is a new trade.
In this episode, Kunal breaks down trading psychology, the power of patience, and what it really takes to go from blown accounts to consistent profits.
Not a lot of people would like what I'm trying to say right now, but
Kunal,
yes,
this
bro.
is your first podcast.
Yeah, really excited about it.
Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate
Man.
it.
I really appreciate the fact that this is my first podcast and it's with Wayond TV.
Thank you so much. So I guess my first question to you, which I ask this to everybody, is if someone were to click on this conversation right now and wonder what value they're going to get from this conversation, what would you directly tell them?
I would obviously love to talk about the reality of trading, on how expectations have to be set and how you have to grow as a trader from starting from the first year till the third, fourth year, when is the time that you're going to get profitable actually. Focus more in psychology. That's what actually matters the most. At the same time, how you can create a profitable edge in the market where there is millions of strategies to trade. How can you specifically set up on one thing and continue that throughout your journey and have more refinements in it, and then find your actual edge on the charts, because that's what really matters.
Before we dive into trading, kind of where I first want to start is your origins. Of course, you're from India. Kind of talk to me, what was life like growing up in India, and what part of India were you from?
So I've moved on to a lot of places in India. So initially, we used to live in Panchgani. That's like a place in Maharashtra. And then me, my mom, my dad, we used to live in that part. So till my third grade, I was there. And that was probably 2008. And then I moved out to Mumbai, where I used to live with my maternal uncle. And then I had a different school over there. And growing up, it was always the fact that I need to get money. I need to do something big in my life and to actually become successful. Every night that I used to sleep, I used to have the same mindset that, okay, you're not gonna do something great in your life. And that's when the manifestation actually started happening, where in my 8th grade, I was having a partner in my school whose brother was a merchant navy. So I wanted to desperately get into merchant navy. That's when I took science. So after 10th grade, you have choices of streams where you can take commerce, numbers, you can take science, you can take whatnot. But that was my mindset, that I wanted to get into merchant navy. So in 2014-15, I passed out of my 10th grade. And after that, I got a bit distracted in my life with gambling, I could say.
Gambling?
Yeah.
What, like gambling, going to the poker table, or gambling trading?
No, it's lottery tickets.
Lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I saw a lot of money at that age. And then I was like, okay, I could never do a job. That was my mindset back in the days when I was just 15 to 16. And then 2 years I did that. And because of that decision, I dropped out of my science, which was my 4-year ambition of becoming a merchant navy. And now all of a sudden, I want to do some business. I don't know what I'm going to do, but it was always that I want to do business. That's it. And then in 2017, I could say, I got introduced to Bitcoin. At that time, the price of Bitcoin in 2017, April, I guess, was $1,000. And what was happening is that we were not having $1,000. So every alternate days I was seeing that it's doubling, quadrupling. And then that's how it went to 19,200 in 2017, December, I guess so. And then straight away to 3K. And then I was like, okay, what is this thing now? Let me get more into it. And then 2018 is the time when I got introduced to Forex, I could say. And February 2018 was the time when I first purchased my mentorship. So that's how it started. And in India, it's always that when you're getting into trading, when you're getting into entrepreneurship, when you're doing something out of the box, you're always going to be questioned like, okay, why are you doing it? Why can't you just like do a regular job? Because in India, everyone wants to get a government job because that's like the more secured kind of like a job.
You went to school to study science, become a merchant navy. Then you got distracted by lottery tickets. Did you make money doing lottery tickets? Because I feel like in America that's a huge scam. It doesn't. You don't get rich from lottery tickets.
So what happened is that we made like a whole strategy on the book where we used to do martingale. I was not knowing the term martingale, but that's what I was doing. So a lottery ticket costed me 50 rupees and the claim used to be 180. So even if I take 50, 50, 50, that's still 150. And even in third claim, it's gonna be 30 rupees in profit. So that's how we did it, like 50, 50, 50, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600, 3200, 6400, 12,800. And what happened is that this is I've not shared this with any of my family members, and my mom might know about this right now, but I told my mom in 2017 April, after we had like a proper strategy ongoing in that thing, because all of our notebooks were filled with the calculations, with the probabilities of how this martingale could actually help us. So I told my mom that I'm going to do a phone business, and I broke her fixed deposit of probably $1,500. That's like 1 lakh rupees in India. And I told my mom that I'm going to do a phone business and I'm going to earn 40,000 rupees at approximately $600 a day. And first day I did that. But the reason I was confident with that is because we did make some money with it, and we bought a bike in that college time. So in at my home, I used to say it's my friend's bike, and on in his home, he used to say it's my bike. So when you're 16, 17, and when you having money in your pocket and you're not asking anyone for money, it just feels like, okay, you're doing something legit. And I was pretty immature, I could say. That was like a wrong decision, but that's the reason why I'm here today. Yeah, that's like the whole journey. Someone has to go through some things. That was my way out.
And I'm really curious, after, you had some success with your lottery tickets, you got into trading. I feel like that had a little bit of influence on, of course,
Quick
the,
money,
the,
you
the
could
quick
say.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everyone comes into trading with the mindset of, I want to get rich overnight and become a millionaire overnight, learn trading in 30 days. How did your parents reacted when you wanted to just pursue a full-time career as a trader?
Back in 2018 when I started trading, right? My mom always believed in me because I was good in studies. So my mom was like, okay, if you want to study something which is going to be fruitful in the end, why not just like do it? So my mom never questioned me, and that was it. I didn't had to create a story or tell anything about trading, because in 2017 I also shifted to a new place, and there I had no friends. There were no relatives in my contacts, so there was nobody to ask me like, what are you doing on daily basis? So the beginning was very humble because I shifted to a new place, and fortunately that home was in our name, so there was no pressure of rent to be paid. So what happened is, I used to just watch YouTube all the day, and I used to take my mom's phone because my phone during that time was not in a good condition, and I didn't had the habit to ask for things. I was always very independent in that aspect, because when you've made money through gambling for 2 years, now you have that independent mindset like, okay, you know what, why shall I ask money for anyone? But when that thing went downhill, that's when I understood like, okay, it's not going to be easy. Like earning money is not going to be easy. If you take some ways which are not traditional, it's going to be the same all the time. So I was very serious. I was taking my mom's phone. I was going to my college. I was sometimes not having the internet. I used to borrow hotspots in the train and watch the video. If I have to get down at this station, I would just even go a bit far so that I complete that video. Coming back again, watch that same video. So that how it was, because when you're on the lay low, when you have hit the rock bottom, and during that time it was actually a rock bottom, because during that time I did suffer with health issues. I did move out to a new place. I made a wrong decision with my education and my career. I was lost. I was having no friends by my side. That's how it was, and I was really hungry to learn the skill. I was never influenced by the flashy lifestyle. Obviously, that was like a motivation that okay, one day I'll be in that place where I'll be able to afford something of that sort. But that's how it all started. Like, so yeah, it was very humbling in the initial the way I started out, because I still have a picture I could show you after the podcast. Like, I borrowed a laptop of my friend, and it had no keyboard working on, so I went to a old electronic shop, got myself a keyboard attached to that. I was not having Wi-Fi at my place, so I was giving the Bluetooth tethering to the laptop, and then I was like 15 hours straight on the charts for every day, because once you're broke and you don't know what to do in life, even if you go out with a friend, you're going to be like, okay, what am I doing with my life? You're always tensed and stressed about your current situation. So I desperately wanted to get out of that situation. So that's the reason, like, I was like going full throttle in it. So the only thing that I was doing during that time is going to the gym for me to be stable mentally, and then come and sit on the charts.
That's a beautiful story. So the darkness and your lowest point of your life fueled your hunger and drive to become a successful trader.
Yes, and I guess everyone has some points. Some people have to go even more deeper. Some have shallow phases, but only when you see that you're able to understand who you really are, because that is a time when you have to be alone by yourself. When you be alone for probably like 2 years, 3 years, you actually get to know who you are. And I guess that has also helped me to have a good psychology in my trading, because I really understand how I operate. Even when I'm live streaming, the first thing that I say after I've taken a trade, okay guys, this is our SL, this is our TP. If it hits SL, no big deal, we accept it. That's what I say to myself. So when I'm affirming that all the time, that's how I became the trader that I actually wanted to be like. So if you go back in 2018 and be like, you're going to be this guy after 7 years, I wouldn't have not believed, because I was very emotional in my trading. Even placing a trade on a demo account was like a big deal to me, because I was scared of the red. But I was like, okay, if you want to trade, you have to take the losses too and take the profits too. The problem with the losing traders is that they're not able to accept the losses. I take losses, and I admit it. I take losses live, and I be like, okay, guys, it's the same. If you're confident in your strategy, you know if that works, you have to take losses, because every other business has losses. There is no trader in the industry with 100% win rate. No one. I would quit my career if I see someone with like 100% win rate.
It's so facts. I mean, the game of trading is probabilities, and to be honest, you're successful if you can manage your losses.
Exactly.
If you can manage your losses, you know, that's accomplishment within itself. So take me back to 2018. You got into trading. You bought your first mentorship. Who was that mentorship with?
So in 2018, I still remember the date. It was 15th February, just after Valentine's Day. That's 14th. So the guy was Maxima Investments. His name was Marcos, was from Portugal. I don't use the strategy that he taught me back in the days, but the way he used to explain things, because the first mentor is maybe his words, his sayings are going to be for your life, because that's like the first thing you're stepping inside. The reason why sometimes people, even they're learning from a profitable mentor and everyone else is profitable, and the reason why he's not able to get profitable is because he had a lot of bad experiences in the past. So if we were to build a new building, it's very easy to build that, but if we have to break this one and then build a new one, it's going to take more time. So that's how it was in the first mentorship. I was very serious, and the videos used to be very long. it used to be like 2 hours, 3 hours, and I used to like just watch and take notes, watch and take notes, watch and take notes, because then I was feeling okay, you're growing now, okay, you're learning. Because if I was sitting idle, I was not doing good mentally. I was very desperate to learn. Not with the money aspect, because I knew in trading, it's always to do with the skills than money. If you have the skill, you can get people with money. You don't need money, you need the skill. And it was actually like 2 years I was not even trading a real account if after the point I blew my first real account. So I was just demo trading.
So you're demonstrating for 2 years.
2 years.
So you're learning from this first guy. What strategy was he teaching you?
So he was teaching us to draw support resistance on the chart. Then he was training us to use trend lines, and then Fibonacci, and then some patterns like double bottom, double tops. So the only thing that I still use now in my own refined way is probably support resistance, which I've made supply demand zones with some things which we can discuss later on.
Of course, yeah. I'm excited to go into your evolved strategy. And your first live account that you blew, how much was it?
Yeah, so that's like a good story again. So I borrowed $1,000, which was 63,000 rupees back in the days, from my mom's colleague, and I promised him that I'm gonna repay you the money back in 3 months, because the plan was to get signals from the guy that I was learning, and then after the signals have been done, I'm gonna almost double the account, and then again repay him the money back. And then what happened is that me and my friend were trading that account, and then I went to my college, and coming back from the college, I did see a lot of positions running on that account, and I was like, I called him. He's like, okay, don't worry. And then in 30 minutes he blew that account, and that was like a big deal, because if I had to do a job during that time and get that money, it would probably take me like 4 months to get that money back. So I was like very tense, and then I was like, okay, now I've made this mistake, I have to repay it back. And I did a job in a call center for probably like 1.5 months, and after that he didn't contribute in some money to repay the person back, and I was actually terminated from the job that I was doing, because I had a fight in the canteen. So they were like, okay, Kunal, we cannot work with you anymore. And then I was like, bro, what am I going to do now? Because I got that job after 1 month of interviews. So that was pretty rough. And then fortunately in 2019, good things started to happen. And yeah, that was how it was. We blew that money, and then we were not doing good, because there was always the pressure, because the guy was never calling me and be like, okay, Kunal, when are you going to give me my money back? It was just like, okay, I've made this mistake, I have to like give him back. That's how it was.
So that's what led you to trading on a demo account for 2 years.
Yeah. And then what happened is, now 2018 passed away, 2017, 2018 was like pretty bad. Fortunately, in 2019, I came across a guy, and I was posting my analysis in one group, and the guy was from UAE itself. I couldn't disclose his name, and he's such a humble person. He sent me 45,000 rupees to buy myself a PC without even knowing me for even more than a month. So he sent me 45,000 rupees, and I was so happy. And I bought myself my first setup, the trading setup. And then that's the guy who invested in me. He invested probably more than $30,000 in my courses. And he is the person who actually built a very great foundation, because he is a person with a lot of knowledge, traveled to almost 90 countries, was he once sold Google options and made $1 million from it. And I was like, there was a lot of things to learn from him. And since he was there in my initial journey, I was pretty chilled. I was not stressing about my own reality. And then since we used to start the Zoom sessions at 12 p.m. till 9 p.m., that is like the London Open till London close time, I did learn a lot of things because of him. I mean, he was the guy who was like the actual catalyst in my journey. If he was not in my journey, I would have taken more time or probably got into wrong hands because I had no one to take advice from.
I'm really curious if you can go back in time and kind of picture who you were. Why do you think he chose you?
Because of work ethic.
Work ethic.
Yeah, he did tell me that I like your work ethic, because I am still not an organized person. I'm still not very disciplined, but if I am on it, I'm on it. Even if I have to make it out, I would just figure out the way and make it done. So that's what he saw in me. Plus, uh, I'm really good with my analysis that he saw initially, because the reason why he texted me is because I was posting some charts and the things were happening, but it was always to do with the higher time frames. I was trading 1 hour, 4 hour, and he used to like see my analysis. And then he had an account of $300,000, and he was sharing some percentage with me, but we did not make any money. I actually lost money, and then still he didn't say me anything. We lost. I still have a journal. We lost. So we were taking 1.5% risk, and we lost 4 trades, and I lost almost twelve to $15,000 with him, and he didn't utter me a word. Still, he kept investing in me. So I'm really grateful for him.
Yeah, it's a really good opportunity you had there. I don't think a lot of people get to have that type of experience. So you had an interesting journey early on in your career. Can you kind of take me to when you had your kind of breakthrough moment with trading?
2018 I started, 2018, 2019 went by. 2019 September time, I could say I jumped into SMC realm. I was learning about auto blocks, and what happened in 2020 was I was still doing my analysis, but there was no confidence. 2021 the same case, no confidence. I was still making analysis. I was a great analyst, because in trading first you become a good analyst, and then you get the faith and the trust in your analysis, and then you get the balls to execute the trade. And you're still gonna make mistakes, because analysis is just like mental, but when it's to do with trading, it's mental plus your money is involved, so it gets more of emotional and psychological. So some people are really good analysts, but when it gets to trading, and that's what my reality was, I was a great analyst but not able to capitalize on the moves. I was calling out so many good moves and not able to capitalize. So 2021 January was the first time that I purchased 2 FTM accounts of 10k, blew them in 3-4 days, I could say. And back in the days when prop firms used to be there, it was like 1 month for the phase 1, you have to wait. Second month, you've done the phase 2, you have to wait. Funded, make 10%, then wait. It was not like right now how it is. So in 2022, I got my first 20k MFF account funded, and that's when it really felt like, okay, you know what, you have a proof of concept, you have proved it to yourself. But then I came to know about there is something to do with the market cycles too, because some people are really good in trading the trendy markets, but when the range happens, they're like, okay, my strategy is not working right now. And after years, they understand it's just about waiting when your time is not right. And that's what I've learned through. So in 2023, now this is again the year where I actually felt like quitting. In the initial 2023, I was like, okay, am I really gonna make it in this, or it just like I'm having seasonal wins? Because a lot of traders, before they get profitable, the profitability in trading always looks like you're profitable, again you come down. The reason you're coming down is because there is like a new market cycle which you're not able to capitalize on. Again you're profitable, again you come down. But the whole journey is always like this, unless and until you don't quit. So 2023, I purchased 200k MFF account, my forex funds, you must be knowing that, which got shut down. And I cleared phase 1 in 33 days, phase 2 in 6 days. And once I took a payout of 10k, because I had to actually get the feeling of how it feels to make 10k in a month. I made 10k in 3 weeks, and then I was like, okay, Kunal, this is real. But the reason why that happened is because I was meditating. I was waking up in the morning, sitting at a place, and I was visualizing, okay, gold is over here. How shall I proceed with this analysis? I have to see it coming on my 1 hour zone. I have to see the 1 minute structure like this, then take a trade. I was visualizing that. This is how it's going to look like. And after my trading session is done, I was going to that place again. I was sitting there and just recapping what's happened for today. So that actually made me very synced with the market. I was way ahead of time, I could say. I was knowing what to do and what not to do. I was also visualizing, okay, Kunal, you know what? If the price action at that zone happens something like this, if the structure is created in a wrong manner, you don't have to execute. So I guess in that 1 month, I gained 3 years worth of psychology. Yeah, it was magical. And I would recommend everyone to just like sit by yourself and talk to yourself about, and just be very transparent with yourself, because you're the actual person who's gonna know the ins and outs, the darks and the light about your own psyche in trading. Because you could be amazing as a person in a lot of things, but trading is very different. Trading is very different. It's like a lot of people, this like even the intelligent people, when they come in trading, they're like, okay, I might just learn this and get profitable. But no, it's very different. It's to do with your own self, managing your own emotions. But when that happened, when the 2023 thing happened to me, I took 2 payouts, and then after that, the account got the company went away. There was some things happening, but I lost my funding over there, and I was not stressed about it. And I was like, okay, this feeling is new. Uh, I'm not stressed about it. Is it real? But the reason why that happened is because I told myself, okay, Kunal, you've lost the account, not the skill. You've lost the account. That's it. You could just buy another account. And then I bought another account, took a lot of payouts, went full aggressive mode in, then again blew a couple of accounts, because that's how pro form accounts are. You have to be a bit aggressive on them in the challenge phase. And then that's when the confidence kicked in. 2023 was really amazing.
Yeah, and going back to talking about trading and emotions, you can be the best person, but trading really exposes emotions that you never knew you had.
Exactly.
And basically, you had your breakout year in 2023.
Yeah.
So it took you almost 6 years to really become profitable with trading.
Some people are profitable, but they're not confident. You need to be actually like confident. Okay, even if I'm live streaming in front of people, I still deal with this. I am in a buy. Everyone's like, okay, it's going to go down. I'm like, okay, let it go down. I've already accepted the fact that I'm in this trade and it's a loss. So there is no attachments with the outcome, but I'm just like process driven. So that's really helped me so much. I don't know, but it's just works for me the way I convince myself in trading.
So if a trader was to start trading right now in 2025, maybe after watching this video, how would you redo the process? Because 6 years may seem like a long wait for someone to get confidence with trading. Maybe someone wants to get it in 2 to 3 years. What can you do to minimize that process?
Take on the hard way is what I would say. And not a lot of people would like what I'm trying to say right now, but if you take the hard way, obviously your journey is going to be longer for you to see the fruits. But when you see the fruits, your foundation is built in a very strong manner. I would say definitely go to the gym, because that's going to keep your psychology like in a right manner. I have observed myself, the days that I used to go to the gym and the days that I used to skip the gym, there was like a lot of changes in my mood. I was very stoic when I used to go to the gym and have losses. I would definitely also recommend to learn more about journaling. I would say learn more about risk management, learn more about the market structure, because you just need two things in trading. One is knowing the direction, which market structure will teach you very well, and second is knowing the entry points where supply demands could help you. So if you are new and if you want to get your journey started, learn these three things: risk management, learn about the order flow on the charts, learn structure, learn to journal. Because once you journal, the crazy thing about journaling is that, let's say for example, you're in a downward loop of repeating the same mistakes over and over again, and you're actually not understanding why am I making these mistakes. But once you journal it down, you'll be like, okay, if I flip the page, I've made the same mistake day before yesterday. So once you get to know why you're repeating those mistakes, you actually can figure out a solution for that. But sometimes when you're not journaling, even if you take a loss, it's in the air. You could just keep making the same mistakes for 3 years and still not find the actual root cause. But when you journal, you will exactly know when and why are you making losses. Probably it's because you're trading the wrong time, the wrong pair. Maybe you're profitable, but just not profitable to do with the Euro USD. Maybe you're trading Euro USD and gold, and maybe you're profitable on gold, but you're not profitable in Euro USD. If you don't journal, you'll never know. You'll just be like, okay, it's in the air again. And that's why a lot of people are break-even traders, because they are doing something right and something wrong, but they are not actually able to find what is the actual root cause of making that mistakes over and over again.
So you have a philosophy saying less is more.
Yeah.
What does that mean in the way you trade?
It's like, I believe that if you're chasing more quantity, you're not going to do good in trading. But if you're chasing quality, and you don't even need to chase quality, you select quality. So the thing is that if you have, let's say, for example, 10 setups that you're trying to take, 5 setups could be the one with 4 confluences, and 5 could be with 8 confluences. I might ask you one question: which of these setups are you gonna feel most confident with? The setups with more confluence or less confluence?
More confluence, of
Obviously,
course.
right? So that's what I mean to say, because once you take losses, it affects you even 2 to 3 times more than the actual profit. Losing 100 versus making 100, losing the 100 would actually feel a bit bad. So for me to have a good psyche, because if you want to actually take this long term, you need to have in a good state of mind. Plus, actually, you have to feel good about your own self as a trader. You cannot be in doubt. You need to always be in the state of mind, okay, I know what I'm doing. For you to feel this, you have to take good trades, because good trades equals good outcomes, and good outcomes always makes you feel that you have a good psychology in trading. The reason most people suck in trading psyche is because they are all over the place. They want to trade gold in the Asian session, they want to trade a reversal setup, they want to trade a continuation. If there is no setup on gold, they want to trade US 30. So they're all over the place. So the trades will always come. Trades are like trains. If one train goes by, no one like actually runs behind the trade, right? That's how trading is. People think one trade is done, and if they've missed that setup, they come in FOMO, and then they be like, they try to replace that. But every trade is a new trade, and every trade will have a different outcome. So it's like, if you have taken a trade, if it goes your way or doesn't go your way, you need to put a full stop on that and not carry on the previous grudge or the overconfidence of maybe like a loss or a profit into a new trade. Is why less is always more.
So talk to me about your obsession with higher time frame to lower time frame order flow, and why do so many traders get it wrong?
People open the charts and directly go on the 1 minute, but there needs to be something which is dominating the 1 minute, right? Or even the 5 minutes. The higher time frames are always the time frames which are dominant in nature. The reason I say that is because 1 hour close could have so many things ongoing inside the lower time frames, and 1 hour candle could have a volume of probably like maybe like $5 billion if we just like put a normal number. But if we compare that to the 1 minute time frame or the 5 minute time frames, it's 60 times weaker. So people forget that difference. Okay, 1 minute is 60 times weaker than the H1. So the H1 is always like the dominant time frame to guide the 1 hour. So even for example, 1 hour has closed bullish and it's going up. You might as well just like look for buys on the lower time frame, because that's how the price is anyways going to flow from, right? So if like something is strong in front of you, you will not try to supersede that. You will wait. So that's what happens when there are HTF zones in front of you. The lower time frame tries to reverse. So I have this key mantra which I always keep repeating, is that higher time frame key levels equals lower time frame opposite momentum. So if you are on a higher time frame demand, the lower time frame at least going to give you some sort of retracement from that level. So now your job is to look for maybe like structure shifts on that level, select your right supply demand area, select the right discounted price for your buys maybe. And I love taking buys. Yeah, and that's my obsession with the HTF key levels, LTF opposite momentum.
And can we dive into more of your strategy, like the confirmations you use, the indicators you use, the pairs you trade, the time frames you like to enter on? What is your go-to strategy right now?
I trade gold, and if I don't see a setup on gold happening, I might trade US 30. I might take silver. Silver spreads a little higher sometimes. My strategy implements these. My strategy includes mainly to do with the higher time frame structure. By higher time frame, what I mean is I want to see H1, what's like the structure, and I never go against the trend. If even if I know that, okay, for the price to form a new higher low, it's gonna still come down 200 pips, I will still not take a sell. I'll still wait for the chart on the lower time frame to reverse in a bullish direction and still just capture the buys. If sells, then I might just wait for a new lower low and to form a new lower high in a supply level, and then wait for a structure to shift on to the 1 minute or the 5 minute time frame. 5 minutes always better, because 5 minute structure shifts could at least give you 100 pips. 1 minute might give you 50, for example. So that's my strategy. I open the charts. I'm like a core raw structure trader, because I'm pretty convinced you just need two things to know. One is direction, which structure will be like a fantastic guide for you to understand. Second is knowing the order flow. And when you mix that with supply demand, now you have key zones where the market is going to reverse from. And once you align that with your structure, so let's say there is a previous supply level which is coming on your new lower high, and then you also see lower time frame shifts, then that's going to be a good sell. So that's how I combine these things together. And my go-to time frame is always the 5 minute time frame, because that's like a good intraday guide for the direction throughout the day. So, and I've got rid of the noise now. I'll no longer use any indicators. I no longer use any trend lines. I don't even use Fibonacci's anymore. The only level that I use on Fibonacci is 50, because that's when you know it's premium or discounted. Because, okay, I have a question to everyone over here. If Fibonacci's have 23, 38, 50, 61, 78, 88, anyways, it's going to reverse from some level, right? And if there are so many levels, what the price needs to actually do is just respect that level to the T and then drop. Why does it sometimes go in between of 61.8 and 70? Why does it sometimes reverse from 75? If there are so many levels, sometimes it's gonna respect 78, sometimes 50, sometimes 61. So that's the reason why I've cut out all the noise, just 50 for me to know the equilibrium. Anything above 50 I'm good with, aligns with my supply. On above the 50, good premium level for sells. That's how I see it. I've cut out all the noise. Now only look at the order flow on the lower time frames, and then take the trades in the direction, because I don't need any noise. I have made most mistakes in my journey taking the reversal setups. A lot of people will just keep losing money if they are reversal traders, because it's just like against the market. You're just trying to go against the flow. If I'm swimming against the flow, I'm going to be exhausted. But if I have to reach from point A to point B, I'm with the flow, I might not even move my hand. I might just like reach there. Accidentally, you will be right with the direction once you're with the flow. But even taking 10 confluences and your HTF narrative isn't supporting your bias, you're still gonna fail with the SL. That's something that I've really convinced myself with. That's where I've had most losses with. Because what we were taught in the SMC realm is always wait for some 4-hour auto block, which is like 800 pips away, wait for that zone, then wait for a structure. Instead, if you just know the fire, it's gonna go up there, why not take buys till there? So that's the approach that I follow. If I know a zone that is gonna get tested, I might just look for the sell to buy zones, mark out levels, take entries. Anything to do with 1:2 is always great. Above that, fantastic. It's like a bonus for me. 1:1, I do break even. Mechanical things. That's what I do all the time.
Yeah, I really love how simple you keep it, and how you kind of went from, I think when you start off as a trader, you go from simple, then you go to advanced, and then now you're going back to the simple days. So basically you don't trade reversal patterns, you only do continuation. Yep. That's cool to hear. Because
I don't want to then regret that, okay, because sometimes even I might have 10 confluences, but the main reason for that loss was you're against the trend. So if just 2 confluences, but if you're with the flow, you're still going to be right, accidentally right. But if you're going to chase the market, sometimes what I do on my live streams is that I mark out zones. Even yesterday I did that. I'd show you after the stream is done. I did say that a lot of traders will look for gold sells in the London session, because there is a break-off structure. People might consider this as liquidity, and then people will try to make sells. And I marked out that level, and I told people that, okay, now just watch how this guy will hit his SL. So people try and misunderstand what actual real liquidity is in the market. The real liquidity is always the weaker hands. If you're bearish, the previous lower low is going to be weak low. Just trade towards the weaker zones. Just trade towards the weaker highs, the weaker lows. And don't trade against the flow, because you might get wrong here and there. But most of the times, you're just going to be wrong. And you're going to be in the break-even stage. I became profitable when I just be like, okay, just continuations. no reversals. 0% tolerance for reversals.
So where do you think most beginner traders go wrong when trying to find strategy?
Most beginners go wrong when they try to find a strategy because they feel like the more complicated the chart is going to look like, the more win rate the setup is going to provide. So even when I was new, I was like, okay, it needs to look complicated in some way. But if they do that, they understand, okay, it's just something which adds a lot of noise to the charts. You have to keep your charts very clean. Just try and understand the right direction, try and understand the real zones, and take trades towards the most probable areas is what I would definitely suggest. Plus, one thing is that market is not tradable all the time. Back from 2020, now here's like a real deal with a lot of traders in India. What happened is that they actually got profitable in 2024, but they have not seen a market cycle full of range for consistent 2 years. So they are profitable in a trendy market which just like goes up. All they have to do is wait for a break and a test and just goes up. And since that, for a very prolonged time, they actually feel that they are profitable. But now what has happened? It's in a range. So the guy who knows to trade a range is going to sustain the cycle, and the guy who is just profitable in the bullish market is going to have a lot of wrong bias and is going to have a very tough time right now. So you need to understand to trade the bearish cycle on the daily. You need to understand that to trade the bullish cycle on the daily. You need to understand to trade a flat range versus ascending range versus a descending range. So there is like these cycles that I have seen in a lot of times. So I did see a seasonal profitability in a range which was flat, but when the range was ascending, my bias was shifting. So I now learned about the ascending range to descending range to. Sometimes the market is going to be bullish on a daily, but it's going to only show sells on the H4. Who are you going to trust more on? Is the daily or is the H4? So all of these things have such a great impact in understanding all the type of the cycles, because when I was new, again, newbie luck, the market was bullish, I was just like breaking resistance, buying on test, again goes up. When range happened, I was like, okay, what is this thing now? How I'm gonna sustain with it? So it's always gonna keep changing. You need to learn to stay outside of the markets when you don't understand things, because when the chart is not sensible, it is giving you an indication that, okay, don't touch me, like leave me alone. But most traders go wrong when they try to make sense out of something which is not sensible in the first place. The market itself is shouting at you, okay, I'm not ready yet, like don't just touch me. When I'll be ready, we might give you good moves, but now let me rest. So there is a phase of sprint and then there is a phase of rest. So a lot of traders need to understand. A lot of traders are actually profitable. Their problem is they cannot wait. They cannot wait because they're desperate. And that's why less is more. Because once you understand to filter out the noise, you only get golden opportunities that you can capitalize more on.
It's really funny how you say that. Sometimes even me too. You try to find all these little things just for you to get into a trade, right? Even though it goes against all of your bias and confirmations. And some of the most profitable traders I know when not to trade.
Yeah.
And I think that's what separates the successful traders from the people that can't become profitable. And in regards to what you're currently trading, I know you're just mainly gold trader. Have you ever tried trading other currencies? And why do you only stick to one currency versus trading multiple?
So I have had experience of every other asset class in the forex market. I started out from trading the majors specifically, just Euro, GBP, UCAD, UJ, AJ, sorry, AU, NU, UCAD, UF, and then I saw that, okay, I'm not performing good in a ranging market. The currencies have always to do with the range, because it cannot move like 100% offset because the base currency is going to get wrecked. So gold is something which is an asset and not a pair which is like versus another country which has to be balanced. If you look at forex charts, it's always in a range. Even if it touches the high, it has to again come down for the currency to be balanced. But you will never see some erratic movement on a currency pair if you compare that to gold, because gold is an asset. If US dollar is in recession or problem, people buy gold. And the thing that I've seen with gold is gold actually loves following levels very well. Even if it has to fail that level, it will still give you a reaction. So that's which also suits my strategy, works very well with it. And I have seen even the best of the best analysis inside the forex pairs gives you a loss sometimes. Yeah. And gold, on the other hand, will still respect that level and then maybe fail when you're at least at break even. It's what I've observed in my own understandings. And even in my community, I could say most of the traders which are getting funded, which are clearing their accounts, taking a payout, most of these guys are trading gold. Yeah. But to trade a currency pair, I have to be very specific with the confluences. It needs to be on a daily level of demand for me to see the H1 changing internally and then go on the lower time frame and then take an intraday trade. But on gold, even average setups work well because it's pretty fast moving.
So right now in your current trading journey, you've had experience with prop firm payouts. You now are teaching people because you developed your own strategy and your own edge where you have a community. Are you still trading prop firms? Are you now doing live trading with your own money? What's your current trading journey right now?
I used prop firm results for me to acquire private investors. Now I'm trading $1 million fund, and we have the fund, we have an executor. I'm the analyst. I execute. I tell the executor to buy gold right now, 10 lots in. I call him. We are on the call sometimes. We are on the text sometimes. And that's how we are proceeding with the same. Anytime that I say do a break even, he's next second, he's like, okay, set. So he's always on the screen, sees the text or receives my call, and we are always in close communication. And that's how we are proceeding. And now, so since this year it's been very fruitful, we are gonna also increase the equity size in some time, because the trader who is profitable on $100,000 doesn't necessarily have a profitability in the same manner on the same numbers on a 300K. So my psyche is very suitable and set for that amount, but I might mess up if I increase that by 3x. I was profitable trading a prop firm account which was 200K. And when I jumped to 500K, I saw a new level, but with that new level came a new devil too. So I was not profitable on a 500K. And then I accepted the higher lot sizes, because on a 100, 200K, you might see a loss of 2K, 1K, 3K, but a 500K, that's going to be like 8K. Is your mind going to accept that? So that's the reason why in trading, the skill is the ultimate thing, because money is anyways going to come. If you don't have profitability on a 1,000, you're never going to be profitable on a 10,000, because you have to get familiar with the lower lot sizes first, and then build your way up. If you get familiar taking one lots, you have to do that for a sustainable period of time, and then maybe get used to 3 lots, then 5 lots, then 10 lots. That's how it proceeds. Because you cannot accept the bigger wins when you see 10 lots making you like 5K in less than 5 minutes. It might just feel very foreign to you. But when you have the experience from trading 0.01 and you have your way up till 5 lots, 10 lots, you can handle those losses and also digest the wins. Because a lot of traders will get very overconfident when they make a very a big amount in a shorter span. So for it to be sustainable, you have to build your way from the lay low, I could say. And in these 8 years of experience, that's what I have learned. I started from 0.01 to now trading 10 lots to even 20 lots. The max that I've done is 23 lots on gold. Yeah. And I did really mess up very bad in the month of March with silver, because I was not knowing about the spreads and I still executed silver as if it's gold. And I took almost 30 lots and then made a drawdown, and then it took me 1 month to recover from that loss. So that's like a lesson also learned over there. So I don't touch silver now. I'm just like trading gold. And if there is no setup, I have learned to wait, because that's the only thing. Everyone is profitable. Everyone is profitable in backtesting. The reason why everyone's profitable in backtesting is because you could backtest 1 week's of data in 2 hours. But to feel the whole price action of 1 week, you have to wait for every single candle to feel. Every single candle color is going to affect your bias. That's why even if you are profitable on a backtesting system, giving 50% win rate, you are not profitable on a live account. You need to have a very higher numbers on the backtesting for you to actually become profitable when you're trading in the live market. If you're having 90% win rate on backtesting, you might probably have 40 on the live scenarios.
Yeah, it's a good way to put that, backtesting, because a lot of people like to backtest for a very long time. And yeah, basically what you're saying is it kind of sounds like you should really just dive into the true emotions of trading live or trading on a prop firm challenge to fully fill every candle.
Yeah, the thing is that it just so in hard times the time passes very slow, right? And when you have seen all of these things in the initial times, all of these losses of probably like 5 years could be recovered in 1 month if you finally get that profitability and the confident profitability where you just know that you know what you're doing. That's what I want most of the traders to feel like. Okay, some traders are confident but very shallow on their baseline, so waiting for 2 days might be like a big deal for them. But once you know that, okay, when you wait for 2 days for that third day to come, and that's the day where you're going to see the right setup. Because see, you might take 3 setups which were not your go-to setups, but when the fourth setup actually comes, which is like the go-to A plus setup, you might not have the confidence to execute that because you're now dealing with these 3 losses. So the ultimate thing is to wait for the right setup and always have the radar in your eyes, I would say, to spot these good setups. Yeah, even I deal with that still. Sometimes if there is no trade for, I could max wait for 2 days. That's my tolerance right now. I want to get that to 3 days sometimes. But if not on gold, I still break my rule and still trade US 30 still. That's not my rule, but I'm not able to wait. And I am dealing with that right now. That's like something which I want to accomplish right now and still make some wins on US 30. Or if not US 30, I still go on USD CAD or Euro USD. So there's always some things which a trader will always keep dealing with. And this is what I'm dealing with right now. I want to be the trader. Okay, Kunal, you know what? No trade for 1 week, shant, nothing. Like, I want to be that guy. I want to actually be that guy.
And you're 8 years into trading and you're still struggling with this. And
Yeah.
that's good. You're being honest about it. But I want to tap into, you said it's pretty impressive. You gain investors and you have $1 million in funding from private investors that you're trading with. I have a couple questions regarding it. So I guess the first question is it just you trading it? You said you have an executor as well.
Yeah.
Why? What's the thought process behind having an executor?
The reason why we have an executor is because I'm not seeing the numbers. All we care about is making profits, right? So if it's done in a smooth way where I just have to see my trading view charts, where firstly I'm a good analyst. I am a good analyst compared to a good trader. I know that about myself. If I am trading by myself, and everyone is a good analyst compared to a good trader, because when it's trading, the psyche gets involved. Okay, so when you're not seeing the numbers, you might just see the charts. The greatest advice that I can give to any trader out there when they are in the trade is not watch the PNL, because let the chart have some breathing room, let it move in your favor, and just watch the charts, because once you see the numbers, you get greedy. So if I'm trading 1 million, sometimes we might execute a trade on gold for like 10 lots, and once I'm seeing like a 5k loss on it, I might get affected by a bit. Right now, I still don't get affected because I still have the investor's ID password. I'm still seeing the position, but I'm not executing, right? So that is something to keep myself in check, because recovery takes time. Emotional recovery takes time when you have dealt with losses. So let's say, for example, February or March, I made the mistake on silver. If I did make that mistake by myself, it would have taken me double the time to recover from that emotions compared to me just not being on the charts. And when you see the things, you feel them in a much deeper way, I could say. So that's the reason why we are also having a salary which is being paid to the executor, and he's always in the go. Okay, buy XCU now. He's like, okay, done, 10 lots. Sometimes when it's like bank holidays and if I still have the urge to trade, I might be like, okay, just 3 lots. So that's how I'm doing. And try it out, guys. Like, if you have access to capital, just try it out. Like, make your friend sit on the charts for you and just be the analyst, because a lot of people are good analysts. They're profitable analysts, but they're not profitable traders. And this is where you might build that gap of actually making money, because in the end, why are you trading? You're trading to make money. So if it could be done in this way, why not? And I tried that for 1 week and I had to deal with nothing. I was like, okay, it was very smooth. Before that, I was still trading by myself. I still trade by myself sometimes here and there. But if I were to trade $1 million by myself executing, I might feel two times more emotional than the current emotions. Yeah. But now, what I've practiced with these 2 years is that anytime that I take a trade, I be like, okay, it's a loss. I've accepted that the time that I've executed a trade, I tell myself, okay, now it's a loss. So there is no attachment with the end result. If I've already accepted the loss, the time that it's going to hit the SL and maybe show it in my terminal, I'm not going to feel anything about it because I've already accepted it. First priority is to take a good setup, and second thing is to tell myself that okay, it's a loss. Yeah, that's what I do to deal with bigger lot sales, because not a lot of people might feel comfortable to trade even 3 lots on gold when they are starting out in their trading. So this is the gap that I have filled with that thing. And definitely before this too, I was still trading prop firms, and I was still trading with 7, 10, 8, 3 lots, and I was doing that by myself. But this has made me feel more comfortable. Like I'm not carrying forward the grudge or the emotion of the previous loss or the overconfidence. So in the month of February, this month, how much did we make in the month of February this month?
Off investors.
Yeah, of the investors. No setups were losses, like 19 setup, and we made almost like
19 trades, 100% win
yeah,
rates.
yeah. And I called out all the trades in my community, and everyone took those trades. I made almost like 38K from the trades, and I was in a very good psyche altogether.
And I know you told me earlier before the podcast that you have one investor that's funding you this $1 million. What is it like dealing with investors' money? Does he expect, you need to make X% every month? Of course, if you made 38K last month off 19 trades, that's about like 3.8% profit. What's the process like with that?
So there's two kind of investors: the investor which knows what is trading, and the second could be not knowing about trading. The second one, not knowing about trading, will always have the expectation. He might just call you every alternate day. Is like, okay, what did you do today? You need no pressures from investors, and that's the reason why anyone which is trying to invest in you needs to know the ground reality of what trading is like. He needs to be comfortable to see no trades happening for like 3 to 4 days. Sometimes I don't execute for on that specific account for 3 to 4 days. Sometimes it's Friday and I might just like call out a setup on a random day. So that is really the tough part, because I've seen guys just calling the trader that, okay, why did you not capitalize on this great fall? Maybe that great fall was not included in the strategy. It was just like, okay, be still silent during that drop. It needs to be like a good relation between you two, and he must trust you. Even I was on a losing streak, he didn't utter a word. He didn't say me anything. He still knew that, okay, Kunal, I know what you do. And that gives me the confidence of, okay, you know what, let's go. But on the other hand, if the guy is like, okay, why are you calling out a sell when it's bullish? Okay, do it by yourself then. Yeah. So these are the two type of investors you will always see. He needs to be very friendly and needs to understand what trading is. Maybe even have 3 months of experience in trading. But if the guy is not from a trading background, his expectation with trading is that we sit in front of the charts and we just click buttons all the seconds and make money. That's not how trading is. It's about more to do with the waiting game. So he needs to understand. That is really very important. That's why I'm just trading with him.
It really sounds like you had a lot of luck, of course, in your trading journey, especially getting an investor like that.
Yeah, meeting good people, I could say, because my intentions are always in with my community, or even if on the live stream, if someone asks me like a question, and if I have 10 questions pending, I might go full deep in explaining him what the answer sounds like. So maybe because of that, I attract people who like, help me, and then they see the authenticity, I could say. And it's more to do with showing the results and then gaining the trust and then working together.
I'm curious, can I know your profit split?
Yeah. So it's 33%. Mine is 33%. Yeah.
Very
Mine
nice.
is 33%.
So you've been lucky on your trading journey, getting $1 million in capital. And of course, to become a full-time trader, you need more capital, because it's not about trying to flip $100 into 100,000. It's about making the small percentages on the higher capital accounts. Now, this is why people go for the profit from trading route, because this is a way for you to get capital without you needing, of course, your own capital, your own savings. What is the strategy and what advice can you give to people to help get investors money and start trading with larger amounts of capital?
So the only advice is you learning the skill in the very right format, not being delusional is what I would say, because you don't have any room for delusion when you're trading a bigger capital. The reason why you think that you're a profitable trading $100 account, but you don't have the same amount of consistency when you go on a $10,000 account, is because you're not having a strong foundation. So you're actually profitable on 100, but you're not profitable on a 10,000. So firstly, be that guy who understand what he's doing. And if you don't understand something, just try to ignore. Like, get into this habit of, okay, if you're opening the chart, if not able to make sense out of something, close it, close it. Don't try to make, and don't spend more time on the chart, because your brain will always tell you that, okay, this, okay, there, okay, this liquidity is going to go up here, okay, doji, let me sell, okay, 1 minute structure break, let me sell. So if my rule is, and I say this to everyone, that in the starting 3 seconds, if you don't spot a setup, or you don't spot a specific key level which is nearby your current price, close the chart. Because the more time that you will spend on the chart, your mind will try to convince you there is a setup, and you might take that setup and end up making a loss.
So the last kind of point of this conversation I want to get into is, of course, you have a trading community, but you started something called the Traders Villa Mastermind.
Yeah.
What is that?
So I was traveling to one place, and then I was really deep into taking ice baths, doing Wim Hof meditations, and going towards this side of learning more about myself, because this is something which has made me profitable, because I understood myself very well, and that's the reason why I understood what not to do. Knowing what not to do in trading is more important than knowing what to do. So I was like, okay, anyways, I was teaching, anyways, I was building profitable traders. And I was like, okay, what if I'm teaching for just like five hours a day? What if people be with me for 5 days straight in a villa, where we are taking ice baths together, we are working out together, we are doing meditation together, we are eating healthy. So at least I could give them a taste of what it is to do with the routine of a trader, because you cannot afford any kind of distractions when you're a trader. You cannot be drinking alcohol every night, because that's going to ruin your psyche. And something to do with this is what has helped me in trading to build the discipline from that ground level. So I know if I was not hitting the gym, I wouldn't have became a trader. I wouldn't had the guts to carry forward those emotions and then process into something good. So if I know these things are something which has made me profitable, I want to share that with a lot of people. That's the reason why I've made this Traders Villa Mastermind, where people come for 5 days straight. We are together. We have one sir named as Pankaj sir. He teaches meditation. He teaches hypnotherapy. And if you are in India sometimes, definitely, bro, we'll
sure.
hit it for sure.
I'll take you up on that.
Yeah. And then I teach them trading, and any other doubts that they have, we sit 1-to-1 with them. I do call out live trades. The first Traders Villa Mastermind that I did, we took almost around 11 trades, 0 losses. 11 trades, 0 losses, and 2 guys also cleared, and it's everything is recorded. We also have a vlog. Yeah. So when they see me in that environment on the things that has made me profitable, and also see me live trades and take losses also in front of them, because the second Traders Villa Mastermind was a week where gold was in a range and there was not a lot of trades. We were still profitable, but we almost took two losses during that time. But they also saw me taking losses, and I was like, okay guys, you know what, this is how it is. You have to take losses, but learn to take losses. So when they see that environment, and when they make good friends in that community too, also they make more trader friends, because some traders are just like lonely. So that's like the community that I'm trying to build right now. We are having an upcoming Traders Villa Mastermind in the month of August last week. This is going to be a big one, because we have already completed the 3 Traders Villa Mastermind, and all of these guys, when they come and join the community, they are sending screenshot of them getting funded, them clearing the Profum challenge. They're thanking me, and it's something which is my core. I mean, working out, all of these things are actually something which I like. Yeah, so I want same kind of people with the mindset to actually understand that this is how you could actually have a good, because in trading you have to feel good. when you don't feel good, that's when these shortcomings come, and that's when you are trying to force a trade, you're trying to be greedy. You have to be good with yourself, you have to be in a good state of mind, and these things will actually make you feel good about yourself. Because you try going to a gym for one day and next day you don't, you will have a very good processed emotions on the day when you go to the gym, because your respiration is on track, you're not having volatility in your system. So these things are definitely some things which are, because I see people, I know a lot of people, they be like, they hit a loss and they smoke a cigarette. You're making it even worse. You're like even triggering your emotions to in a very negative way, I could say. I know a lot of traders that do that. Instead, if you hit a loss, if you maybe like do 20 push-ups, you're gonna feel strong. That's because in the initial times till you become profitable, it's going to be very hard on your emotion side, especially if you're coming from a background like me which had no financial backing in the from the family aspect. Then it's going to be very tough, so you have to be very strong mentally, and these things are some things which are going to make you profitable. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but people, when they think of buying a protein powder of 1 kilo, they will be like, it's expensive, but they might throw away the same amount of money in smoking a cigarette or going to a club. So it's a choice.
Yeah, I think it's really great that you're taking the route of doing in-person mentorship. I think being in person and being in an environment where you're surrounded by traders really helps accelerate your trading journey. Now, for those that maybe can't attend, your in-person events, your masterminds, you do have an online community.
Yeah.
What makes your online community different from others? Because there's thousands of traders, trading influencers that have many online communities. What gives you your edge?
The ultimate thing is that everyone is on the same page. No one is so if I show you the community, if someone takes a trade, it will have more 10 traders taking the same trade. So we are always on the same page. So if I am giving out a trade, and if I'm sending a screenshot of, okay, this is the buy that we are looking for, people are already in that buy. So we are always on the same page because we see the structure in the similar way. So that is something which I would say. Plus, it's just to do with a lot of serious traders. No one's bantering over there. Everyone's there for trading and becoming profitable. And the third thing is that when you see in the same community that, okay, being mentored by this mentor has made this amount of profitable traders, and when you're new in that community and when you see that okay, members are actually profitable here, you feel comfortable about the environment. You feel safe that, okay, this is like a safe place. I am having a hope of getting profitable in the future too, because in trading all you need is that one hope. If God comes down and tells you that in 2027 you're going to be profitable, you'll be very chilled about it. You will not be stressed or have any doubts that will I be ever able to make it in this game. But when someone's new and they see that, okay, traders have already gotten profitable, they have a hope. Yeah, and that's like a very sweet spot, because there was a time where I was not having hope. I felt in my whole trading journey, 3 to 4 times were like the actual legitimate times where I've actually felt to not continue. But the next day again, I was on the go. In our community, in our Discord community, it's like a two-way communication theme, if we could say. Firstly, everyone's on the same page because everyone sees the structure in the similar format. Secondly, if anyone has any doubts, we do Zoom sessions for the same as well. And if there are more experienced traders and someone's coming in new, ask some doubt, everyone's like very open to share their own experiences. And what happens in India in the forex trading community is that a lot of traders have a free Telegram group where the mentor is only calling out trades. There is no conversation happening inside the group. So when you have conversations inside the community, that's when you get more comfortable in that environment.
Well, Kunal, it's been a really wonderful conversation. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. And I hope to continue this relationship in the future. We definitely, when you come back and move out to Dubai, we should shoot a documentary with you. And one final question I have for you is, do you recommend anyone to come on our podcast?
I would recommend my friend Atul Patil, the Top G Traders, to come on this podcast very soon. I might meet him today and I would have a conversation with him about the same. So yeah, because he might also try and add a lot of valuable insights in the forex trading community space. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Pleasure having you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much, bro.